Good morning, everyone. So it is my second day subbing, and today I am subbing first grade. I am a little bit nervous, but excited to sub again. First grade is one of my favorite grades. So I have about 10-ish minutes before the bell rings, and I have to pick up the students from the playground. Once I pick up the students, I'm gonna start with introducing myself, taking attendance, and doing the flag salute, as well as taking lunch count. After that, we are moving on to phonics, so I'm just going to be following what's here in the book. We're going to continue phonics by completing this worksheet here. So they're going to look at the picture and also write the word that matches the picture, and the words are down here. Then in the back, they're just going to trace the sentences. After phonics, it is going to be recess. After recess, I picked up the students from the yard, and we came back into the classroom, and we went over some Google slides. We went over sounds and sight words, and we listened to a story called Brian is Invisible. After listening to the story and discussing the story, the students wrote 2 sentences in their journal, and in their journal their sentences were my name is, and then they filled in the blank, and then I can, and they filled in the blank. So for mine, my name is Miss Tully, so I can sing, and they drew a picture. After they finished working on their journals, they practiced their handwriting. So today we focused on the letter A. They traced the letters and wrote them down here. And then it was lunch. So after lunch, the students are moving on to ELD. So we're gonna listen to a story called Clark the Shark. And the students are gonna draw a picture about their favorite part of the book. So right now I am working on the subnote. Today the students get out at 3:10 and I'm off at 3:15. So usually I walk the students to the gate and I leave from there. So I have to tidy up the class, write the subnote before the bell rings. Usually I do it after the bell rings if the students leave before, at least 30 minutes before I do. And this time I only have 5 minutes after the bell rings. So I like to get all this stuff done, so when it's dismissal for the kids, I can leave with them. So far it's been going really well. The teacher has such a great class. They're on task, they're on their best behavior. I haven't had any issues. I just have to remind them to work quietly at times, but that's about it. The students have been great. The teacher did leave some goldfish to pass out to the kids when needed. They have not been needed. Maybe I'm gonna give them some at the end of the day to students who do have a good day, which most of them are. After the students finish drawing their pictures about the story, we're gonna move on to math. It looks like they are learning addition. So they have about 4 pages. It looks like this. We're basically just gonna be drawing and adding the parts. That's the bell. I gotta pick up the kids. I am getting ready to leave. I already cleaned up the classroom. I had the students help me clean up. But that's the end of our day. Good morning, everyone. So today I am subbing first grade again. So one of the other first grade teachers came into the classroom yesterday and asked if I was available to sub the same class today, and I told her that I was. So I am back here with the same kids. Today is early out, so the kids are out early. I'm looking over the lesson plans right now, and it's pretty much the same thing as yesterday, just different worksheets. I have about 15 minutes until the bell rings. Once I pick up the students from the playground, I'm gonna go over attendance, lunch count, and we're gonna do the flag salute. And they've been working on the Grand Old Flag song, so we're gonna be going over that as well. Then we're gonna move on to phonics. So it's very similar to what we did yesterday. For phonics, we're going to start with one of these videos, and then they're gonna be practicing the sounds of each letter, and then we're gonna do this activity together as a class. Then we'll be starting on this worksheet where they're gonna cut and paste the pictures and paste them to the matching words. After we finish phonics, it is gonna be recess. So as I was heading to the classroom this morning, I ran into the teacher, and she updated me as to why she was out yesterday and why she was gonna be out today. She did ask me if I was available to sub tomorrow, which I am. So I am looking forward to being here tomorrow as well. She has a really good class. It is recess right now. I am prepping for what activity we're gonna do once we come back from recess. Looks like we're gonna continue phonics. They're gonna be working on blending and reading. Before that, I wanna read them a story just so they can cool down after recess. And I'm gonna read them Miss Nelson is Missing. I feel like it's something they could relate to since their teacher has been out for 2 days and will be out tomorrow as well. we're going to continue phonics after recess. We're going to be going over their sight words, and I'm going to be playing this video and one of these as well. Then I'm going to have them on their whiteboards practice how to write more sight words that they've been learning so far this week. So I still have about 5 minutes left. I am quickly going to snack on what I brought. I brought grapes, oranges, watermelon, and cheese. It is lunchtime right now, and before lunch we did finish going over phonics. After phonics, the students colored their name tags however they wanted, because it's going to be hanged around the classroom on construction paper, I think by this week or next week. So I told them to try their best and try to stay inside the line. Some students did like a shadow around their name, so I hope that was okay. But they got really creative. I wish I could show you guys how they colored it, because they did such a good job, but that would give all the students' names out. Since we did still have a few minutes left until lunch, the students worked on their alphabet, so tracing their alphabet letters and then practicing some sight words by tracing them and writing them 3 times in the back. Once the students come back from lunch, we are going to be going over ELD. So for ELD, they're going to be learning about nouns. So I do have some Google slides that I'm going to be reviewing with the students. But before that, I want to play them a story just because a student requested that I read that book, and I thought it was a good idea just to help the students cool down right after lunch. So once they come in, I'm going to play the story, read it loud, and let them cool off in the carpet. This is the story that the student requested. It is The Bearstein Bears Go to School. After that, we're going to be watching this video about nouns. Then we're going to be matching the pictures and words to the correct categories. After ELD, we're going to be moving over to math. We're going to start off by watching a video on addition, and then we're going to do some practice problems, and then the students are going to move on to some worksheets that we're going to do as a class. This is the video we're going to be going over. It's basic math addition for kids. It's going to be going over some examples on how to add. And then as a class, we're going to be doing some practice problems, and then we're going to start on the worksheets. So for math, we're just going to be going over addition. So we're going to be adding the pictures that they see here, creating an equation. Same thing here. So it's only 3 to 4 pages of work. We're going to do this as a class. The teacher did provide an extra math page in case we have extra time, and I feel like they'll really like this worksheet just because we did a cut and paste earlier and they loved it. So we'll be working on this, just cutting and filling in the numbers where they go. After we finish math, it is going to be their second recess. After the student's second recess, I'm going to be playing a read out loud. Then we're going to discuss the book, and they're going to write 2 sentences on their journals. The teacher did mention that if we don't have time for the journal, that is okay. I hope we do. But if we don't, we can probably do it tomorrow. This is the story we're going to be listening to. My mouth is a volcano. We're going to be doing a circle map or a bubble map describing Luis. Then the students are going to write in their journal about a time they had fun using the sentence frame, I blank with blank. After the students work on their journals and we read the story, it is going to be time for dismissal because it is early out. It is the end of the day. I already took the students to the gate for dismissal. All students have left. Right now I am just cleaning up the classroom a little bit. I'm about to head out, but I will be back here tomorrow, so I'm setting up what I can for tomorrow. This is the class. It is so cute. I really love the layout. Good morning, everyone. So today is Thursday and I am subbing for the same class that I've been subbing for this whole week. So the schedule is pretty much similar to how it's been the whole week. Once the students come in, I take attendance, I do lunch count, then we do the flag salute, and then the students practice the Grand Old Flag song. After that, we move on to phonics. For phonics, the students are getting a page with a lot of pictures and they're gonna color it. I like to color it beforehand just so they can see what we are doing. After that, they're gonna be cutting each picture and then pasting them to the matching letter. So they'll just be covering the letter with the picture. The teacher did mention this activity is gonna take long, so she gave us a lot of time, which is good. So I'm thinking of breaking this activity into 2 parts. The first part would be coloring and cutting them. Then I'll collect the scissors, I'll pass out the glue, and then they'll get the second worksheet. Then it will be recess. After recess, we're going to continue the activity. Then there's going to be a teacher coming in to teach UFLI phonics. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but she'll be with them for about 30-ish minutes. After that, it's going to be lunch. Then after lunch, we are going to move on to ELD, and for ELD, we are continuing to go over nouns. After that, we are moving on to math. So for math, we are still continuing addition, this time using dominoes, adding what's on top of the dominoes, the bottom, and then what it equals to. It's about 4 pages. After math, the students have their second recess. After their second recess, we're going to come back into the classroom. They're going to listen to a story. For today's story, they are going to be listening to the Recess Queen, and we're going to be describing Jean, which is the main character, and they're going to be writing about something they did at recess. So their sentence frame is, I play with blank. It could be with a ball or with my friend or with a jump rope, something like that. Then we'll clean up for dismissal, and that's how our day is going to look today. It is recess right now. Time is flying by. Right now, I have a few minutes. Usually for recess, I like to go to the restroom to refill my water if I need to, and I like to eat a little snack just because lunch is, I think, 2 hours after. So for snack today, I brought grapes. I ate the cheese, watermelon, and oranges. It is lunchtime right now. I just dropped off the students to the cafeteria, and I am about to have my lunch. So today, I just brought a sandwich, a turkey and cheese sandwich, and some chips. So yesterday was a really good day. I think it's easier for the students to get used to one person instead of having 3 different subs and 3 different days. I think me coming back really helped them get back into their routine. I was following exactly what the teacher had left, and they did even better yesterday. I did not have one issue. I did want to share some tips that I've been using these past 3 days in the classroom with the students. The first thing is that I like to give students a job. So I have a student who passes out the glue sticks, one who passes out the scissors, one who passes out the worksheet, and this helps a lot. Instead of having me passing out everything, I like to have them help me, and they love it too. Another thing I do is when a student finishes early, I tell them to get a book. I've been noticing that a lot of students are catching on to that. So once they're done, their worksheet is collected as well as their supplies, and they get a book from the library. And then they just go back to their seats and read. And they're doing that for about 10 minutes while the rest of the class finishes. Another thing that has been helping is the teacher, specifically this classroom, has a big box of goldfish, and she mentioned to use as needed. And I haven't really been using them. I've used them during math yesterday to get students to participate in answering the questions. And today, since they were cutting and pasting, there was a lot of trash everywhere. So there was 2 students that were reading because they were done. I asked them if they can help me pick up trash from the floor, and they did. And I just gave them 2 to 3 goldfish, and they were so happy. So that helped me keep the classroom clean and tidy. Another tip is to practice an attention getter in the beginning. So like yesterday, I learned that their attention getter was class city class, and then they say yes city yes. It's important that when they do repeat their part, I do not continue to teach or talk or give directions until the classroom is quiet and all eyes are on you. If that doesn't happen, and if there's 1 or 2 whispering in the corner, no one's gonna take that attention getter serious. Last tip is one that I usually do all the time. So it all depends on the time dismissal is. So for example, for this school, dismissal is at 3:10, and my time off is at 3:15. One thing I like to do is write the sub note. I like to clean up the classroom as I am going. So normally during lunch or the recess, I work on the sub note. I start cleaning up, picking up things, organizing things back to where they were, just so when it is dismissal, I get to go home the same time as the students do, because there is only 5 minutes after the bell rings for me to do all that. So usually helps to get all these little stuff out of the way if you're scheduled to leave right after the bell rings. So that's what I am doing right now. I'm going to work on the sub note